We wouldn't replace it.
Oh, really? I thought they were like a 50-year cycle.
That's apparently what, they don't have any footings and they don't have any cutoff walls.
Right.
But even back in 28, those were in the reclamation standard requirements, but they didn't build them to that standard. So. Sure, the depression had something to do with it. So.
But they've held up for many years, so.
That's what I'm saying.
But right now, they're starting to fail, and the bad thing about it is that it seems like they're all failing at the same time.
Johnny, we need to educate our taxpayers and show them, where that money is going. They wonder why they have to pay taxes and no water, okay?
I wonder the same.
I have that gripe every day.
It's either you pay now or you pay later,
Yeah.
and later is more expensive.
And actually, the structures that we've targeted, Pete and Robert have been concerned that they're close to failure. So, yeah.
We get every year out of them we can.
Yeah.
And that means you got to understand that there's a significant concrete cost when like filling those voids. Those aren't small voids. Those are 20 truck, 30 truck voids.
Right.
And then it's just wasted. We actually have to demo it and pull it out when we replace it. So I think we come up with that. If you can get by with a few truckloads and make it last the season, you have to do that. But after that, if we have these huge voids, that has to be rebuilt. So.
And the heading of the Salitran, we're going to go ahead and place it underground because that's that section that almost goes up to Alameda Road, which is quite dangerous. We've been quite concerned about that location with vehicles. It's almost right at a curve. And
Yeah, I know.
so we're going to go ahead and place that underground.
We always park on the far side from the road.
And
We're just gonna have to leave a manhole there just in case any debris gets caught there at the road.
Well, you need to run it through engineering to make sure we have the right velocities in it, so we don't have siltation. Jay, ask Jay to check the velocities on the design.
All right, any questions?
Anybody have any questions of Pete? Nope. Keep up the good work.
Thank you.
At least at 3 feet or something there.
All right. 12-inch Robert, whatever the 4-foot Robert.
From, now, like you were saying earlier, to the canals, indoor, a good example is take the Unit 6 up there. It hasn't had water since July, and those canals in Unit 6 and Unit 7, they look horrible. And me and Pete are kind of concerned because, like the Franklin Unit 7 got weeds in the bottom. With those weeds, we won't be able to run those 200 feet in there right now. It's really scary. So we gotta work out once the water comes in here. And another thing we got on checks, there used to be not even steel, they used to be out of redwood.
Really?
Wow. They used to use the, what was it?
Yeah, he used to use because of the problems. A lot of redwood.
Yeah, they used to be out of redwood, so finally, the late 80s, 90s,
We ran out of redwood.
Redwood failed.
But
The life cycle of redwood.
everybody wanted the redwood when we took them out because old woodworkers would like to use the redwood to make frames and everything with them. But now we make them out of steel. So we can't put copper out there because they'll steal it easy. Okay, so coming back to the return flow, we started February the 3rd. It didn't go like we figured. A lot of people out there, I guess they're more concerned of using their 2 inches and not having water later on. So a lot of people had the acres in there and they backed off. And then last week I got with Chewy, said Chewy, people do not want water, but I couldn't see it passing. So I started making a couple of phone calls, and a lot of people started just picking them up. So in the past week and a half, we're able to water over, right now, 1,200 acres, which was great, But these pecan people, many what we're picking up, and they're leaving their branches out there. They're just watering to just get some water, and they understand that we're not counting them against the 2 inches, but they realize that next time they're going to want water, they're going to fall way back in April, 1st of May, when they'll probably get their water again, because it looks like it's not really going to pick up until the 1st of March, where people are really going to want their water. And it don't seem like the return flow is going to be as great this year. From what I'm seeing right now, it's a week 60 to 70 feet. So you're talking about 4 to maybe 5 heads,
1st of March is only 3 weeks though.
and 2 weeks, really.
Yeah.
And the cotton people are the ones that are dying to get it.
Yeah, they're still listing like crazy now. People are listing.
Well, I'm having to call because they're putting the orders in, and for example, they'll have 1,500 acres total, and they're ordering 1,500 acres, and I tell them that you can't get 1,500 acres, you can only get 30%, and they get upset, but I said, that's the nature of the game. I said, like I tell them, you know, cotton, it takes at least 6 inches. It's, and sometimes it takes 8 inches, but they figured that they can get more. I said, guys, we can play with it any way you want to. Right now, we can look at 30% of your acres, and then we can look at the CFS, what you're pulling. But you gotta remember, if you pull 15 CFS, that's 30 acre feet in a 24-hour period, so it's not gonna last you very long. It's but yeah, the water yeah, I understand that, but we look at it I look at it everybody's average in a 24-hour period, and that's how we charge them. I look at everybody's farmers as we're going through the process of him getting his 15 days or 18 days that he's gonna get water. We look at it, I look at it every day as he's watering, see where he's at. Because our ranger will say, you got 18 days, but sometimes he's putting more water, but then it drops. Originally, we'll come down to say, okay, you got a total of 20 days, and then that's it. But it's gonna get fun in March because some of the bigger farmers already got the orders in, and some of the bigger farmers can take 15, 20 days of water.
Yeah, and only do a third of their.
And a third of their acres, but it's gonna get fun. But right now, we basically, because if Pete got the projects, I think he's fixing to get the tornado to check 5 going. We'll get that going. We got the 9B, and then as of today, we started putting water down to Sonelli because we got the wasteway fixed, so we'll start getting water into Sonelli, start delivering there as much as possible. And hopefully, maybe in another week or so, I'll start getting water in Tornillo. Yesterday, I got a call from a farmer in Unit 9A, your neighbor down there, and said, Robert, when am I going to get water in Tornillo? I said, well, Tony, I'll tell you what, Tony, I'm trying to find out who wants to get the crossing across check 14. When I find him, let me know.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. But he wants water, but he wants to pipe in, but.
Well, but that's the one like you're hitting at, that the neighbors have to wait for him to get his 30%.
And like I said, Tony, you get water now, you're not gonna get water again till June, so you make the difference. You water with your wells now, we'll see you in 1st of May. However you want it. But so far, it's going pretty good, and I think by 1st of March, it's gonna get tricky. And everybody's kinda getting to a starting line and getting to see if they can, and pushing everybody off. But we'll see where it gets there when we get there. In another 2 more weeks, it's going to get fun.
I don't envy you your job.
No, and what they don't understand is they call and say, well, I want my water to Sonelli, from there I want to go to Clinton, from there I want to go to Green. Guys, it's not going to happen. He said, we're in the Sonelli, we're going to stay in Sonelli till we get everybody watered out, and then from there we'll figure out where we'll go.
We don't have enough water. If we were to put water in the entire system, we wouldn't have it.
No,
We're not even close to it. I mean, we don't have the seepage losses.
Robert's
He's
letting
got
us
to
know.
compartmentalize it.
He's letting us know we don't get our Kevlar till about 2 weeks from now.
yeah.
Well, if we lose more production off the return flow, which is almost 100% treated effluent, then we're gonna have to talk about that, because then we're gonna have some additional constraints. Well, we're down 10 CFS for some reason.
So, right now, but it's hard to tell because we go down that riverside, and when we go down that riverside, our losses are greater.
Yeah, that's
Yeah, I
right,
think-
since we have the Franklin extension out, that's right.
I
That's where our
think
10 CFS.
once we come down to Franklin Feeder, for some reason, it seems to pick up around 80 feet, and that's where I like it, it's workable a little bit more.
Yeah.
But
That's
right-
because of the losses on that canal.
It's just not
Lake Riverside?
Lake Riverside.
Lake Riverside, so.
It's, we're gonna have to narrow that up some more.
That would be nice if we could do that, because that thing's nothing but a big old wide inefficient
Yeah,
deal.
just from the Paseo to the I-0s, they'll take about 20 feet right there by itself. And then if you have the wells out there, the pumps, if you don't have no water inside the riverside, you can't even use them. Because the water drops right in the riverside and goes away.
Most of that's going to Mexico. They've got a much bigger active pumping, winter pumping program than we do on the shallow alluvium.
But that's pretty well it. It's gonna be a fun March.
All right, Robert. Good luck.
Thank you.
Hope we see you back next month.
You will.
Back to my, I guess we're back to my thing.
If
I know
you
we've
want
got-
to, it's up to you.
Yeah, let's see if we can get it done real quick before we're gonna have to take a break for executive session, but, let me see if I can turn the lights off, you can see that. A little bit better. So that, you know, I think all the board members attended the public meetings, is that correct? I don't know, Miguel may not have, were you at one of the two public meetings on any presentations that last week?
No, I didn't. I think one of them I did.
Yeah, I think you did, yeah. So I'm not gonna repeat all the doom and gloom. Between Johnny and me going to public meetings, I don't know, we had a lot of gloom faces leaving each
They
other.
still didn't hear you. I heard Johnny say 10 times, don't think more than you take care of, and I heard you say it, I heard Trudy say it. First thing I got out of the meeting was, relatives of mine going, when am I gonna get my water?
Yeah, I think we said 12 inches of June 1st, 20,
Yeah,
kinda Johnny said it
You
12
said
times.
June 1st at least 10 times, everybody.
Last question was, when is the dam gonna open?
Yeah, where's the ambulance? That's right.
I don't know, it was at least 12 times, but anyways, I guess, I don't need to say it anymore here, but the thing that I was talking about, which probably went over most of the public's thing, is if you look at this curve, where I've got the pointer over here moving it back and forth, that's the, you know, this is just one of over 100 stations that we monitor, but it's one that is most illustrative. Over the years, we relied on Wolf Creek, one of the highest ones, the highest amount of snow, as an indication of the health of the watershed. There's a couple little blips in that data, those blue points, those, just ignore those are errors in the equipment. There was no snow events at those times, but what that shows is for our 35-year record, it shows the longest continuous decline in the snowpack due to sublimation ever recorded. And then at the very end of it was that storm that happened 2 weeks ago or so. Remember we were talking about it was actually happening at the time of the public meetings. A little less than 2 weeks ago. So we did get a blip going up, but we've never seen, at least at Wolf Creek, we've never seen sublimation that large. And you know, the windy season's just starting. We usually see that stuff when it's really windy. There were some windstorms up there at that time, but it's usually the air's got a little more moisture in it, so I don't know how to analyze that. But you can see we're way off the normal curve now. If we go back up, we're at, we did come up, we're at 88% on precipitation in the upper Rio Grande and 61% in the Chama. San Diego to Cristo increased a little bit, it's up to 82, but we don't get much more water from that. It's really the Rio Chama and that. So things aren't looking good. You guys know, as I tell the public always, that to have a normal inflow to the reservoir, that what we're looking at in the 700,000 acre-foot range, we have to have about 130 to 140% normal snow. And that's a statistical, there's two different types of normals that they're looking at. And the performance of the water being in the snow as opposed to getting it down through the entire Colorado, Animas Valley, and through New Mexico to us is why there's a difference in the other obligations for that water. So anyways, it's not as good as last year, but it's not much different from last year. If you look at where we are in that whole thing, we're trying to fill that thing up in these are like glasses of water or whatever you want to say they are. You know, the average you can see is at this time of year, and the maximum is filling it all the way up, so we're about halfway on both the Chama and the Grande. The problem is that we don't have half of the season left. So hopefully, maybe we'll get up to that snowpack average, but the probabilities on that are dropping off pretty fast. So all we can hope for is some what do I say every year, major events?
Major weather event.
So that's, any questions on the, so we're sticking, right now, the estimated allocation, if we were to make an allocation, has not changed from what it was 2 weeks ago. 12 inches.
12 inches.
But no allocation's been made at this time, will we?
No, we're waiting.
And Reclamation redid their calculations, and the allocation went up a few thousand acre feet, but not enough to make any difference. I mean, we're basically holding steady with the evaporation.
We just have to wait after the compact meeting.
I think on the agenda there, I don't have an agenda in front of me, there were 3 items.
Yes.
I always use Indars.
Real bosky.
So and the compacted counties nodes occur at that March meeting. We had a 800-foot adjustment on San Juan Chama, but that's not final until March. It was in our favor, but 800 acre feet's not a whole lot. C, I'm gonna ask the board to table item C. You requested, last board meeting, and I apologize, last board meeting, you wanted me to do the contractual review, in terms of with the city of El Paso, that if the land was reclassified as irrigable, how it would fit in the Act of 1920 or any conflict with that, and the existing contracts, what contract it would go under. And I apologize, although we started that, as you know, those contracts are complicated, and my only excuse is that we got redirected, Chewy and I redirected on some more critical items, which we'll discuss in executive session, having to do with the litigation. So I will promise to have that before you at next board meeting. Chewy, do you have any comments on that? You're meeting with John.
Yeah, I want to talk to John Baloo.
We're going forward on that. It's just I got delayed, I apologize. So I'm asking you to table that.
Okay.
Okay.
No action on A, B, and C. There's one thing that I missed that I needed to do back, and this would be under Mary's deal, under item 6. The accountant suggested that we come up with some policy for credit card use, that we didn't have a policy. And we had talked about appointing a committee to do that. And I've asked Art, he said he'd be willing to do it. And Mary, if you two would work together and come up with some kind of draft policies for us. And if anybody else wants to serve on it, you're welcome to do it. No volunteers. Don't everybody hold their hand up at once. No, if you guys will come up with some draft policies and get that done. All right. Order delivery allocations, there are none, don't have any for a while, consideration. Okay. Okay, we still got about 10 minutes before we need to go.
Yeah, we got about 10 minutes, so whichever, if you can get them all done in 10 minutes.
We get it all done in 10 minutes.
I think so, there was a bunch.
On your report card.
I think it'll be grouped together, yeah, no, I guess the first one, 11, 13, 13A and B, the subdivisions, Valley Creek subdivisions, Unit 4 and Unit 5. They've submitted their drawings and have complied with, as far as the easements, and all the numbers added up correctly, so,
Where is that?
this is, if you look on the screen.
Page 2 of 4 up at the top.
On the
No,
screen.
no, where is it located?
I got it right there up in the
Physically, where's the subdivision?
You can see it.
Yeah,
Where?
this is Country Club Road here in
Oh, it's up in the Upper Valley.
It's right next to our combined lateral wasteway, it's at 35.
By old Ellis lateral that we get.
35, yeah, it's so Gomez Road is right here, Gomez and Upper Valley.
Yeah, that used to be Country Club, it's not
Yeah,
anymore.
they're
No.
right, it used to be.
Yeah, the subdivision, it's this small portion right here, this one, and the one back here are Unit 4 and 5. So
Okay.
they've already started the other two, as you can see.
Y'all, you will recommend approval?
Yes, the engineer recommends this.
Do I hear a motion to approve?
So moved.
Indar makes a motion to second. Second. It's been moved and second, we approve applications 1598 and 99. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Okay, Jeff.
Okay, C is license 235. This is an existing license for ingress and egress across La Union lateral. We have had a request to terminate the license. The licensee has since sold the farm to Canutillo Independent School District. So Mr. Lyons requested we terminate it. It was a 25-year license executed in '99, so there was 10 years left. And Canutillo ISD has another easement elsewhere that will make access possible for them, so they expressed no interest in it.
Was there a bridge there or what?
It was a culvert. It was a culvert, and I actually have it on the screen for you.
And it's the Garcia Elementary School, Johnny, that
The culvert is right here.
placed underground, a section of it underground.
Yeah, they have an easement here to Canutillo ISD, and this ingress here.
Oh,
So they purchased this
That's
one.
what we did with,
Yeah, this isn't what this is the previous landowner had a egress for agricultural operations. It's not an assignable license, it terminates.
This is a culvert
We
right
need
here.
a resolution to,
Just a permit, what they.
So he just,
I read it that it terminates automatically once he sold it, but if the board wants, if he wants a
he wanted
resolution.
something in writing, and that's the culvert
I don't
right
have a
there.
problem if you guys make a resolution.
It was 10 years left. He's not asking for any compensation or anything, just something in writing, formal from the district, that, license.
Okay, so moved.
So
so
the
there makes a
district.
motion second.
Yeah.
Okay, Miguel seconds. And the resolution is to accept the termination request, I guess, of the
Yeah,
license.
Terminate.
License 235.
well,
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All sign, all opposed, same sign. Motion carried.
Okay, thank you. Items D through G, they can be,
And by the way, before you continue,
Oh, yeah.
Phil, Miguel's abstained, so we'll need to get the form
On C or a D, E,
on F.
Okay.
Well, actually, D, E, and F, it's.
E, F, and G, yeah, they're all the same. This is a request on behalf of Paso Electric for a 25-year license. They are running a three-phase electric power line adjacent to the Malone lateral off of Alameda, down 5R. This is for the drought. 5R is installing some wells, and he is putting in electric wells, and these 4 crossings are to service wells for the farmers. So they're aerial crossings across our facilities.
Three-phase all the way to the back of this farm?
Yes.
What about any compensation to the district?
Absolutely. Yes, the license have been written. They are, the total is $16,000, $16,000 for El Paso Electric. The license remains to El Paso Electric. It was $16,000 for all, for over 25-year lifespan, or lease, a 25-year lease. It's an aerial crossing, 15 feet wide. The poles are on the district right away. They're just crossing the line. Okay. Yes. So yes, these are for the drought, but he's running them down to the T216, that last well he's got down there, so it's quite a ways.
Jay, are the 4 of them there together?
Well, it's one applicant, but 4 different locations.
They're crossing forward
Was the
canals.
three-phase already
It's the
there,
same
you're just
alignment.
now getting these contracts? Was the three-phase already there?
No, these are brand new poles,
Wow.
brand new line off of Alameda. It starts right after the
I know
Malone
right where it's
lateral.
at, yeah.
Right after the Malone lateral, he's running directly straight down to T216. Yes, and they went and staked it, and yeah, because I mean, they have to meander to some of the trees, obviously, but yeah, they've secured down the staked out right away, and
You recommend approval?
the district recommends approval for these 4 licenses.
All right, do I hear a motion to approve application 1606, 1607, 1608, 1609? Art made the motion. Indar seconds. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. All right, approval of County of El Paso's request to amend the easements.
Yes, the County of El Paso, y'all, the board approved these easements listed, H through R, for basically the Tornillo Port of Entry roadway from the Rio Grande all the way to Alameda. They crossed all these facilities. There was a term in there that, there was a reverter, that if the roadway was not built within 3 years, the easement would revert back to the district, to us. The roads have been completed since, and the county, I guess, she just was asking to remove the reverter, for the life of the easement, even though they've already been constructed. She just requested if we can remove the reverter.
Who's she?
Statement. Signy Niemer. I think we reviewed it, we prepared, basically, the ratification would be,
The purpose of the reverter was to ensure that the improvements were done.
And they're done.
Yes.
And done, so that's.
if it fell
Well, it has
through,
to be removed, but we have a problem with it.
We've spent the last 6 months with that very issue, is what, but
Why?
we
So
brought
what
it,
is
we
the-
said we'd take it to the board, and we take it to the board.
What
We
is the
don't-
resolution, I have to say?
Well, we're actually amending all of these easements and reissuing all these easements. We make them pay the cost to do that, and we're removing that language from every one.
So there'll be new documents.
They're paying new documents.
They're paying for it.
They're paying for it.
Okay. Do I hear a motion to approve the
That's an exercise
amendments
in
to all those
overkill.
easements?
It's just overkill.
But we didn't, we have had long discussions about
they have to
that.
complete it, so it's
I'm
not,
like, what?
but, that's the only, so, yeah, that's all. I
We
have.
offered letters saying that we accept, the work was accepted. We've already done that. We've offered all sorts of alternatives, and they wouldn't accept any of them. They want this.
Okay, do I hear a motion to approve?
Yeah, we don't have a problem.
The language
We,
is-
we say that the language is in effect that way right now.
That's what.
But the reverter didn't occur.
The reverter didn't occur, it's completed, we've
It's not
accepted the
gonna
work.
occur.
It's
done.
it's done, it's a
Yes.
non-applicable clause in there.
Okay, do I hear a motion to approve the amendments? Okay, Indar makes a motion. Second, anybody?
Probably something to do
Art
with federal
seconds.
government.
All in favor, say aye. All opposed, same sign. Okay. Amendments have been, to the easements have been amended. We better go into closed session. Right now, we've got a conference call about some legal matters that we need to attend, so let's go into closed session and we'll take care of the rest of the stuff. Come back. We got most of it done.
Could've just sent her a letter.
Not any storage. You need to play our deal there.
Big, today. Inspector General report scathing on the DOJ. Well, you know, they're the ones that were going to those $5,000 seminars. Today it's about how they don't even know where all the property is. What property's there.
Thank you.
We gonna stay in here?
That's where I'm going.
I don't see why we can't stay in here as long as the video's off.
The question is, the telephone will be clear.
Whatever you wanna do, whatever you.
Snake.
Whatever.
Hey, Jim, how you doing?
You can look at it there.
Yeah, do we leave it there or?
I guess
So,
so. Worry
you a
about
superlawyer this
not
year?
being close enough to yell and speak.
You're gonna set up the call?
A similar, just advertised. That's all I
Sí.
Yeah, real way that can hurt.
Tiene
Well,
licenciado counsel.
you have to live in the.
Because I was at San Miguel.